suppression firefighters. Their lives do not depend upon installed systems such as sprinklers, fire pumps, and standpipes. Ours do. And how much do we really know about them? Not too much. So what we're doing today is we're going to have the professionals here from Sprinkler-Matic. Our lead instructor is going to be Adam Kroll. He's going to walk us through the intricacies of water supply to the fire pump controls, how they test sprinkler and standpipe systems, troubleshooting fire department connections, what to do if the fire department connection doesn't work, and pumping into a fire department connection. So we've got an ambitious schedule, but we've got 4 hours to do it, and I think we can do it. So Adam, if you take over, sir.
I'd like to say good morning to everybody and thank you for being here. My name's Adam Kroll. I'm from Sprinkler-Matic Automatic Fire Protection. And today, like Bill said, we're going to bridge the gap a bit between when I leave the job and with the fully sprinklered building, standpipe in place, and when you come up to a fire or an emergency, pumping into the building. I'd like to start with just some components of the fire sprinkler system. What we do, you know, we're at a construction site for a year, 2 years, sometimes 3 years, depending on the height of the building. And we put into place a system for automatic fire protection for the residents or the commodity or the business. And in an emergency, when the sprinkler system does go off, fire department gets called out there, and then you guys run into the building and you put out the fire or make sure everything's put out, per se. Anyways, I'd like to get started with our system, okay? And our system starts with the city water main, okay? We have a dedicated water service that goes into any building, and that starts, depending on what municipality, from the city water main through the fire backflow. All right, here you can see next to me, this would be considered the fire backflow. This is a DDC VA double detector check valve assembly. It is, there's two double check valves in it, the big one where the water flows, and then there's a metered side, okay?
And Adam, would you explain why do we have a backflow device there?
Okay, all backflow devices are so we don't contaminate the city water, okay? It's for cross-contamination, so none of our nasty sprinkler water gets back into the city water supply and goes into your sink or your shower, okay? Any questions about the backflow? No? Okay. Through the backflow, we either go directly into a riser system, or in this case, we go directly to our fire pump, okay? And what a fire pump does is a fire pump takes the pressure of the city water and it adds to it, okay? So what it adds is volume and pressure, okay? So in this case, we have a pump that is doing about 750 gallons a minute, okay? And at about 80 PSI, Greg?
I think we're discharging 140, so 140 less your suction.
140 less our suction.
And what would it be capable of doing if it wasn't for that restriction?
Okay, so we have a 6-inch supply on this fire pump. It can take a 10-inch supply. It's really rated for 2,500 GPM, but for all intents and purposes, and what we tested it at here, we can flow about 1,180 gallons out of here. Okay, and then what happens is we'll suck the city dry, or your grid system, your feed grid here that you have at your facility. Okay, one of the other things is we don't want to do is we don't want to ever suck below 20 PSI on the city side. 20 PSI, then they make you boil water, and then you get intrusion into the city's water mains. Okay, so we have to be very careful about that. Here, not so much, because you know you're kind of a false underground structure. You have a pump over there. We can always